perhaps extinguishing any flicker of confidence many Americans might still retain in the honesty of a Biden Department of Defense and the U.S. Congress that already has shown decades of utter contempt for the U.S. Constitution. Department of Defense DoD spokesman Major General Patrick Ryder told reporters on December 19th that, well, shucks, you know how we've been telling you for almost a year that there were 900 U.S. troops in Syria? Well, we just discovered that there are more than double that number deployed there. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV, and here's the story. Yes, Major General Ryder. He was surprised to find that his own agency, his own department, had taken certain actions. That's kind of curious, isn't it? Well, here's what he had to say, in part.
As you know, we have been briefing you regularly that there are approximately 900 U.S. troops deployed to Syria. In light of the situation in Syria and the significant interest, we recently learned that those numbers were higher. And so asked to look into it. I learned today that, in fact, there are approximately 2,000 U.S. troops in Syria.
Ryder's claim of ignorance was almost as insulting as the reality that without any official declaration of war from Congress, no U.S. troops are supposed to be deployed overseas. Not 2,000, not 900, not one. And he made it worse by trying to normalize this stunning breach of American constitutionalism.
These additional forces are considered temporary rotational forces that deploy to meet shifting mission requirements, whereas the core 900 deployers are on longer-term deployments.
Again, if there are any ethical people still working in D.C., could they mention to Major General Ryder that this is a distinction without a difference? The fundamental baseline being that none of them are supposed to be there, with the added recognition that the DoD has been lying to us for many months about the overall number. Journalist Michael Tracy put it succinctly on X, posting a clip of the insufferable Ryder's inane statement and writing, quote, "Would love to know how the Pentagon suddenly learned that it had at least 1,100 more troops deployed to Syria than it had previously acknowledged," end quote. Absolutely right. Did the soldiers walk there? Or perhaps they appeared out of hammer space, as if they were in a Mario and Luigi video game. All while the wildly unconstitutional U.S. wanders like a blind beggar into $36 trillion in debt. Of course, given the track record here, we can't even be sure we can trust this new number of 2,000 troops. But while Ryder did make a court jester of himself and expose how much contempt the current U.S. military brass, D.C. politicians, and federal bureaucrats have for us, he was honest about one thing. At the close of the clip provided by Michael Tracy, one can see Ryder admitting that the U.S. has been in Syria for a long time. Some of us have been trying to sound the alarms about this for a long time. He said,
"These forces, which augment the Defeat ISIS mission, were there before the fall of the Assad regime."
No kidding. Again, some of us have known that. In fact, we've known that the U.S. has been working with ISIS affiliations and occupying nearly 1/3 of Syria for 10 years, and that the area is Syria's richest oil land and contains the best growing fields in the nation. In fact, Donald Trump himself admitted to this occupation on numerous occasions while he was president, presiding over the occupation. And he even stated during a meeting with Turkey's leader Recep Tayyip Erdogan 5 years ago, in part,
"We're keeping the oil, we have the oil is secure."
And as much as supporters of Mr. Trump might try to justify this, perhaps thinking that it represents some kind of payment for the U.S. doing something they think is beneficial in the region, there simply is no constitutional or ethical excuse for any of this, period. Not only has the U.S. Congress not offered a declaration of war to move troops overseas and possibly engage in hostility that could see them killed or see them kill others, internationally agreed treaties prohibit the occupation of foreign nations. Not, of course, that any of the federal bureaucrats and war-hungry politicians in D.C. much care, so long as they keep collecting their cushy, taxpayer-funded salaries. We don't know where they came from. Man. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Find us on Rumble, where they don't censor us. And of course, you can still find us on YouTube, where, yes, they engage in censorship. And please share the videos, especially from Rumble. That helps attract people to the channel, and we'll get more followers, and hopefully people will find this information worthwhile and valuable. We also can be found, of course, on the mighty MRCTV.org website, MRCTV.org. Check it out, see what the whole team is doing. Visit the MRC-TV store, and please consider contributing to the Media Research Center. You can also find us in Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, on X, and if you want to find me on Gab, I'm at Gardner Goldsmith, and on X, you can find me as at Gard Goldsmith. Thanks for watching, everyone.